Culturally responsive and meaningful assessments, what we strive to do at USD 257. We're going to take a look into what this means and how we can achieve it. Assessments. As teachers, we all use them. So what are they? Well, according to Survey, assessments is a process of collecting, reviewing, and using data for the purpose of improvement in the current performance. We use them to determine if goals are being met in our educational classrooms and systems. Assessments drive decisions. Assessments drive our current curriculum and what we go with. It can determine a student's placement, what tier they fall in, what interventions they need, and of course what we're most familiar with are grades. Assessments can also affect the funding in our districts. Two types of assessments, summative and formative. Summative measures comprehensive. So we teach students and then we want to know what they know at the end. It's useful to provide information about patterns of student achievement. However, it doesn't allow them to reflect and demonstrate small growth. Formative uses students receive feedback. So we measure a small amount of things over a longer period of time and offer suggestions on how to improve. When do assessments work best? Well, providing feedback is the number one thing that we can do. It helps educators set standards, evaluates progress. We can relate that progress to the student, and it helps motivate both the student and the teachers. This is when you know assessments are at their best. Culturally relevant assessments are a little different. They direct and consider students' cultural strengths and curiosities, and it extends over their different types of literacies. Being cultural relevant is very important. Here we are allowing students to bring their own experiences into the classroom. Cultural contexts are fundamental in students' learning. Everyone has a culture. By developing personal stories, it can create longer and stronger relationships, both from peer to peer and from students to teachers. So what are the tools? The primary tool is you have to get to know each student as an individual. Some examples include exit portfolios. Exit portfolios gives a broad spectrum of content students can cover, and they make it personal to themselves before leaving high school. What they've learned, how they've seen the world, etc. Include students in their cultural knowledge and incorporate what they already know with what you're trying to teach them. Exit portfolios was just one example of a different type of assessment. Another one could be converting rubrics with a family's help. So, knowing how that child learns best. By allowing parents to say, my student is a more verbal, instead of taking a test, maybe they talk to you about it. Getting to know each family and their cultures can help bridge that relationship gap and teach other students new things as well. Again, I cannot preach enough how much relationships matter. According to Strickler, students reported that a teacher who is willing to provide help, their students are 1 times more likely to feel that they belong in school and will succeed. For students, many times schools are the first place where children experience some form of society in its entirety. They have experiences that have profound influence on their attitudes and behavior in life, and school can set the pace for that. So having a positive relationship with the teacher so that they feel that they belong is extremely important. Some learning hierarchies that we need to consider, just like Maslow's hierarchies, are 9 simple things. 1, we have to gain the student's attention. We have to let them know what we expect. Let them retrieve what they already know. Get to know them, let them tell you what they know so that we can build upon that. Help guide them in what you want them to know. Offer feedback. Then offer some sort of assessment, whether those are many formative assessments or one summative assessment. And then allow them to use what they've learned in something else to enhance your curriculum. Overall, leadership matters. According to Leithwood, in school-related factors, leadership ranks second on impacts of student learning, just right below building a relationship within the classroom. So what types of assessments are used at USD 257? We have some ones that cover it at all levels to bring to your attention. FastBridge, STAR, PASSY, PSI. We do tests, essays, we even have some groups that go to competitions. Our formative assessments include PASSY, which is a phonic awareness screener for intervention, and PSI, which is a phonic screener for intervention, and PASSY, was phonemic awareness screener for intervention. We also do the same for kindergarten screeners and our FastBridge tests that are administered at the high school and middle school level. Our summative assessments include our STAR program. Some teachers offer tests or essays. Competitions could be considered summative assessments, and precision exams that students can take once they have completed a pathway. Our normed assessments at USD 257 include FastBridge, our state assessments, the ACT, and work keys. And here we allow all juniors to take the ACT and work keys at no cost to them. What's required? My IGDIS, FastBridge, our kindergarten phonemic awareness screener, STAR, PASSY, and PSI. Most of these happen at the pre-K to elementary level. However, some do continue all the way up to the high school level, especially using FastBridge for reading and math, and all high school uses it for social emotional. So what gaps do we have at USD 257? We are focusing heavy on reading and math, which is awesome. However, right now we're lacking in science and history, but that is to be implemented later after we get our reading and math data, our tier 3s lower, and moving kids into that tier 1 and tier 2. Quality. We have lots of evidence-based curriculum here at USD 257, and we do extensive data collection. We've been a part of TASN. TASN has come in, and we meet once every 2 months to look at the data and the screeners and see how we are doing. Culturally responsive assessments here at USD 257. We have teachers doing essays, project. We just incorporated a McGraw-Hill new math curriculum that really deals with real-world situations and how to apply that. And of course, our FastBridge was social-emotional, letting kids tell us how they think that they are doing. Our Dear Principal letters in the form of essay in senior English, we allow them to write anything that they wish that could be implemented or they see a problem with, and express their feelings and cultures, etc., on what they would like to see improved in our district. So in conclusion, that has wrapped up the culturally responsive and culturally responsive curriculum as well as assessments offered. I hope that we can continue to build a stronger system together. USD 257. Here are my references.